When you buy a piece of Forever Redwood patio furniture, you're not only buying the highest quality, most luxurious handcrafted furniture on the market, you're supporting a movement, the restorative forestry movement, pioneered by Forever Redwood for the past 10 years.
I started studying forestry, and all my spare time started reading books about forestry, and started traveling around the state looking for land that I wanted to buy.
I met Raul back 15 years ago. He told me his dream about owning forest land and restoring it.
After a while, I realized it was going to be in the redwoods that I wanted to do the work.
About 5 years after that, he started buying forests, and now we've got about 700 acres in Northern California here.
Previous generations of foresters were unaware of negative global effects of mass clear-cutting. Up until the 1970s, there were few forestry regulations. Nearly all of California's redwood trees were clear-cut.
So where you had a forest that was mostly redwood, big 200, 300-foot trees, now you've got mostly hardwoods. You've got hundreds and hundreds of trees where there should be dozens.
After 40 years after logging, this is what it looks like. And if you count, you could see how most of the trees that you're seeing are hardwoods. And it shouldn't be that way. Look.
There are a few key practices in restorative forestry. There's thinning.
We bring the lower branches up so that the forest can breathe again.
By removing the lower limbs, if a fire gets going in here, it can't grab and climb a ladder of burning limbs and burn the canopy.
There's a whole series of practices that go into restoring the land, and several of them involve removing trees. Very often, 2 or 3 redwood trees will grow very, very close to one another. Ultimately, one of them is going to win out. And you can take out the smaller tree if you're careful and you drop it in a way that doesn't clobber another tree, and use that wood to make furniture.
If you do restoration forestry and you cut it 10% per decade, you wind up sequestering 2.5 times more carbon per acre than you do under sustainability. And you wind up with old growth trees again.
For the customer, it's really exciting because they can rest and feel like they're helping to save the forest by just buying some of our products.
We purchased 8 tables of various sizes to accommodate our guests here. We have a beautiful garden area where we like to provide seating for them during the warm season. So we got some large tables that are working beautifully for us. In the vineyard, we use green farming practices. So the green farming practices basically imply that we use no pesticides on our estate. Really a critical factor because we're very close to the water here. So when we were looking for someone to work with, the concept and philosophy behind sustainability is very important to us. And so since Forever Redwood had that type of philosophy shared with us, it was one of the key factors in helping us make that selection.
These big piles of debris, like that one over there and this one, they get resawn and we take out the good wood like this. And this gets shipped down to make furniture.
That what their money actually supports is a vision of how to interact with the earth and the world, both in ways that are both ecological and economical. So when you can marry ecology and economy, then you did it right.
All of our product lines are, we consider, to be as good as it gets in whatever category. So when we were introduced to Forever Redwood, it was a pretty easy choice to make as far as our outdoor furniture line. When we read more about it, became more educated about it, the sustainability, the whole process of it was just, we just had to do it.
The big secret, really, with the furniture business has been our willingness to custom make anything you want. We don't have a factory. We have a woodworking shop. Old-fashioned woodworking shops are almost impossible to find. Oh, you want a table 7.5 feet long and 33 1/4 inches tall? Fine. Then people start to ask questions like, well, can you can you change the design on the legs and make it like this? Can you do that? And because of that, and because of our willingness to do that, our product line has just expanded over the years. And most of it's been created by our customers.
The lands that Old Growth Again is managing are in the process of becoming remarkable, very, very different from the lands around them because of the way they're managed. When you buy a piece of this furniture, it's almost like making a contribution, like a carbon offset.
I love the fact that it's redwood, so native to California.
I just love the way all the wood is jointed and fits together. Everything's perfect.
I love the fact that it's farmed sustainably. I love the fact that it's rustic yet elegant.
It's obviously for the generations.
The other day I had an 85-year-old gentleman call me from, I don't remember, I think he was in Washington State. And he knew exactly what he wanted. He was a World War II veteran, he was an amateur carpenter, and he ordered like $15,000 worth of stuff. And he bought it in the old growth redwood and with the very best sealant. And I couldn't help but quip. I said, but I don't remember his name, but sir, you know, this is a terrible investment for you. You're gonna have to live to be at least 120 to get your money's worth, right? And he said, I know, but I've got grandkids. And really that sums it up.